recording. So I think I would like to show you some of the aspects of the designs here from this PowerPoint that I just sent to you. Okay, let me get the screen. All right. I got some presentations from this presenter giving the idea of the urban designs at the intersection. Okay. We talked about at-grade intersection. When we talk about at-grade intersection, we mean the intersection is on the level. Okay. So it's not at the interchange. It's not at the interchange where there are different grades. Okay. So at grade intersection, you know that there are many types of intersections like this, where you may have the signals or non-signals, and we have the emphasis on basically on size earlier. The components at the intersections that you may experience, but not well, established in Thailand. We got to really understand some of the components here. The components composed of something like the roadway. Okay, when we talked about major street and the minor street, which you already know, we talked about that earlier. I mentioned about that earlier. Major street, mostly more volume than minor street, and the number of lanes may or may be equivalent with the minor street, okay, or maybe more. But mostly, we understand that on the major street, more green time will be provided if it is the signal intersection. Other component is like crosswalk, okay, crosswalk, refugee island or channelized island right here. You can, if you are crossing the intersection here, this is the island that you can stand here and then wait for the signal to cross. Okay, pavement edge and pavement corner. Yeah, this is the pavement edge and this is pavement corner. Yeah. Pedestrian ramps. This is for those who may be a handicapped person, need a wheelchair to walk, to use. So if there is a ramps, it's a lot easier for them to move by. This part, if we look at this corner, okay, this is called right turn auxiliary lane, and give you the idea that if there is a pocket like this or the lane like this, you can, go with the kind of no blocking or no stopping with the through movement here. It is preferable to have this kind of lane so that the traffic queuing will not be that long. Pavement markings, of course, like solid line. Okay, mostly you can see the solid line near the center of the intersection, but along here you will see dashed line, except the curved lines. Okay, that's always solid. Pavement markings are very important as the guidance for um, most users. Without the pavement markings, it's very difficult to uh, to uh, to know which lane you're supposed to be. Okay, maybe you may experience some of the new roads where there's no such lights yet, because during the constructions, after they put the asphaltic concrete on the pavement, when they put it, they have to compact it and wait until it's cooler. Okay, when it's starting cooler, it could take maybe 1 or 2 days to to settle. If you really want to open for the traffic after that, it's okay. But if you want to put some pavement markings right away, those pavement markings will melt and very, very dirty after that because of the tires will get some of the color from the pavement from the asphaltic concrete and then press it on the marking, so it's not going to be very cleaned. White or yellow is going to be very dark very soon, so it's not good to put the pavement marking right away. However, there are some safety aspects here, because at nighttime, sometimes you need some guidance on the pavement marking. Without it, it's going to be very difficult to drive. So they need to put some signs or a traffic cone, or maybe some reflectance, like a small reflectance as a guidance on the pavement, and then it can be removed later once the pavement marking is settled. Something like this is maybe not taught in the textbook, but this is the experience from the construction, So once you open when you build a road and then open for public, you have to make sure that all the safety aspects should be in place. Okay. Okay, pavement marking, everything. Okay, turning roadway, division island. Divisional island, this is also important too. There is some, I will show in some here soon the real picture of the intersection. Right now, everybody coming. Okay. Okay. These presenters try to classify types of intersections. Some ones can try to, classify as the number of legs, like 3 ways, 4 ways, 5 ways, 6 ways, depends on the, the arms of the legs. The one that I broadly, mentioned, which is the uncontrolled or unsignalized intersection, signalized intersection. Those are broad definition of the classification of the intersections. 3 ways approaches or 3 legs intersections. There are many types of this in Thailand too. This one has some angle in it, so it's not 90 degree. Some certain some safety issue may be maybe here when it's too much degree. Okay, so this is like I don't know how to say. So this one is also very challenges for road user to make which one is the main road. Okay, if there's no indicator well enough that which one is the main road or the major street. Okay, we have to identify which one is the main road. For approaches, this is a typical right angle offset. Yeah, offset to minor street, but it's not connected at the angle at the right angles. You know, oblique, something like this. You know, uh, the method to mitigate this normally in Europe will be traffic circles or roundabout if it's oblique, or if there are more than four legs. Okay, they normally put traffic circles or the roundabout. When we talk about roundabout, we normally presume that is the intersections. Okay, the traffic circle is a lot smaller. It's just for the residential area. 5 legs, 6 legs, something like this. Okay. Okay. The aspect of design will include the, as we mentioned earlier, side distance, conflicts, and the key elements like turning, curb, channelizations, those kind of things. Bike lane, bus stops shall be in there. So this is like a 3 dimensions so that you can see more of your experiment of the decision rather than just the plan view. As you see in here, it's maybe, well, very typical of intersection. Okay, but the design behind it is you have to see that if a car stop here, okay, the view, okay, remember side distance, the view is very clear, no blocking, okay? Especially for those who are vulnerable road users such as pedestrians and bicyclists. Okay, the special of this intersection is the side distance. Okay, here this is a signals. Okay, signals. Some signals maybe well have a different design, but the key element is clear view of signal heads. Make sure that the signal heads can be clearly visualizable. The layout size, okay, important. Marking clear, okay. And if you see this parking lot over here, you can see that even though they have like here, see the dash line here, it's showing that it should not have the access to get in and out to this parking lot at very close to the intersection. They shouldn't have it. the access. Okay, if it's unavoidable, make sure that these access will not, disrupt the oncoming traffic, right? That's the one that getting into the traffic system. Okay. Okay. It's said here is vary by nature, it's create many conflicts, not only with vehicles only, but vehicle and pedestrian, vehicle and bike. Okay. This is 32 conflicts that we had seen earlier. Okay. This is from the top view. And this one is for 3 lakes intersection. Okay. The clarity, predictability, visibility, short wait, adequate crossing time at the intersection, limited exposure, usable crossing. Okay, these are things that important for designer to remember. Clarity, making it clear to drivers that pedestrians use the intersection and indicating to the pedestrian where the best place to cross. Okay. Some location doesn't have pedestrian crosswalk. The a pedestrian may cross at anywhere, along the intersection, which is not good. The key where is good is before the stop sign. I'm sorry, it's stop bar. Okay, that is the best place because every car should be behind the stop bar. Predictability, drivers know where to expect it. So it's not just pedestrians who know where to cross, but also drivers know where the pedestrians are. Visibility, good sight distance, lighting, so that pedestrians can clearly view oncoming traffic and be seen by motorists. Short wait. Okay. So if there's it's providing reasonable waiting time for cross the street, at signalized and unsignalized intersection. Okay. So if there are many people crossing at the unsignalized intersection, you may later on consider to put a signal so that this signal will keep the pedestrian safe by let them cross the street with the red signal of the vehicles. Okay, so there are some certain guideline or warrant for for putting limited exposure, reducing conflict points where possible. Okay. Usable crossing, eliminate barriers, ensure accessibility for all users. The capacity of intersection for any of its users is the maximum rate of flow of that user type can be accommodated through the intersection. That means the capacity is not just for motor vehicle and anymore. In the past, we will focus on the capacity of motorists or motor vehicles. We didn't take into account of pedestrian or bicycles. Okay, but to emphasize in the urban area, okay, capacity should be include the flow of pedestrian, the flow of bicycle, and the flow of the motor vehicles. Okay. One of the measure of effectiveness is the level of service. I think you should a little bit know about the difference between level service of intersections and the level service at mid block. Okay, they talked about level service, as the measure of effectiveness. However, the level of service at intersection and at the mid block have some difference. Should a little bit go into so in here is that is stated that all users the level service is linked to average. One may use some simulation tool like program like Visim or Aimson. Those are the programs that very well known and being used in transportation planning, traffic operations, and so on. And when you established an intersection, you put in volumes, put in parameters like the signal timing in it. It will give you the outcome. One of them is the average delay at the intersection 2. So I mentioned this is because I want to give you some ideas that you may want to try, to be able to use some of those programs in order to, if you select that this field will be your field, okay, in the future of your career. One should, more into the studies of these programs. Okay, suggestion Aimson. Okay, AIMSUN, Aimson. The other one is Vitsim. Okay. I will type it for you. Okay. Another one, this one is the one that I've been used for for a long time, but is the last one, which is Synchro. This one, the most easy to use, but is designed for countries that use the, to drive on the right hand side. We are driving on the left hand side, so a little bit tricky to modify the input so that you can get the information out of the program. The first two are available for both left hand and the right hand. Okay. That's green. Okay. some of the elements that gonna help the intersection design to be much more safer is the alignment. Remember we talked about before midterm, you learn about horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, but thosely focus on uh, section of the roadway, not at the intersection. However, the intersections somewhere, as mentioned earlier, there are different as the nature. In Thailand, in Bangkok, mostly is the level, so we don't accompany with grade that much. But some places that are hilly, like places that I used to show you, San Francisco or Seattle, States, them are, places that intersection are located on hill. So some of this gonna be effect to the gravity, to the side distance braking. I'm sorry for the braking distance when you see the rate that has some effect in it. Okay. Okay. If we talk about horizontal alignment, we don't really want to put the section in a curve at all. The rule of thumb, put it in the straight line as possible. If it's in a curve, then there must be very a good design to put in other things to prevent any crashes that at the intersection where there is a curve in it. Why? Because it's because of the limited side distance, and you would not want to get interruption if you are on the major street or on the main street and somehow have to brake because of in front of you in a curve there is intersection or intersection with signal lights. In this case it's going to be challenges because you will see possibility of more accidents rather than make it safe. So to avoid that, if it's unavoidable, for example, one may considering doing some tunnel, so or do some grade different to the minor street. Okay. So for the vertical alignment, our vertical is give you the grade effect that I mentioned. So the possibility of fixing it is make sure that you have the fixed on the minor road or on the major road, depends. Okay, make sure that at the closest to the intersection, make it level as possible. Okay, we don't want deep grade. Okay, on any side of the lake. So if it's unavoidable, make sure that you have the sign, you have lots of warning into it. Okay, give them ahead of time to prepare to make a full stop. Some places very critical in terms of design because there may be some snow, there may be some um, kind of algae. When it's wet too much, the friction of the road will be reduced because of those conditions. So they got to inform the drivers ahead of the time. So when it's raining, be careful in the session ahead, giving you more time to stop. Okay. The radius, curb radius here, important too. So if without R1 here, if it's very angled, your car, you need to, take a lot of turn, wide turn to avoid hitting the curb. So having a curve like this
กูไม่กดสี่เหลี่ยมน้อย
is giving you a better, turning path. So the car can be moved with safer, movement. Someone may assist on the microphone. Okay, continue. Yeah, corner design. This is a simple radius. This is like the taper and radius. And this is like compound, This one different from number B because the taper is giving you more straight line, but this is giving you more curved line. Okay. And the island here. Auxiliary lane. Yeah. You can put an auxiliary lane at intersection. One can describe into three types: left turn, right turn, and the through lane. This is for left turn. Okay. These photos are from those who driving on the right hand side. T means tangent. L means the length. So the lane, the auxiliary lane is located over here. Okay. Located over here. This is also same, okay, but a different design of the main road a little bit. Okay. Okay. This is a 2-lane road. Okay. This one is there is a slot for the median. Okay. This is a median. This one has no median. Okay, has no median. This is median. So they put the median out a little bit and then keep the space for the auxiliary lane for the left turn. This one, I think, the same too. One may put the a curve or a median to protect the left turn, exclusive left turn. This one is the right turn auxiliary lane. On your left without island, on your right with island. Okay. Let me show you some difference of these one. This is the T is tangent line, and then straight line, and then curve. And this is the state line. Here, there's no state line. So right turn get into the minor street with merging. But this one has some space here. This one giving the auxiliary lane for through lane. If you look back a little bit here on your left or on your right, this is a 2-lane road, 1 lane per direction. And when you meet an intersection, it is great to have like design like this. So there's, if you have a left turn vehicles, then they can stay in this lane while the through that is coming following the left turn can get through the intersection without stop. So that means it gives you less delay and less chances of hitting the rear end to the left turn vehicle. Crosswalk. In urban streets, crosswalks are very important. And you may see that it's so much different from in our design aspect here in Thailand, because we emphasize on movement of motor vehicles. We don't want to interrupt the traffic with the crosswalk. The crosswalk, one can notice that no one ever stopped for them unless there is a stop. I'm sorry, there is a signal, okay, for pedestrians. Most national highways on the Thailand, the fix for this is to install pedestrian crossover. Okay, pedestrian crossover. However, at some locations, it's not going to work because it's located very far away from the point where the pedestrian want to walk across. So nowadays, we want to, giving more aspect to vulnerable road users, which include pedestrians and bicyclists. So we want to have a good crosswalk for them. A good crosswalk, in my opinion, is well lit, have the right for pedestrians to cross, and affect the traffic flow very minimal to let them, to let them move as flow as possible. If you have seen one in Bangkok, you will see some violation. For example, if you are a pedestrian and then you hit the pedestrian press button to cross a street, okay, somehow you may notice that if there is a gap for that person to cross the road, that person may not wait until the green signal for them to cross the road. They find a gap and then they just cross it. After that, the green, the rest, the green signal, the signal just turned green for pedestrian, and motors, everyone, stopped and looked left and right and see nobody, because that person already crossed the street. It's trained to, make motorists to violate this kind of, crossing. So there are some certain things that we have to think a little more. That's why, having a good crosswalk, a good design, and a good system shall be another, challenging for for Department of Highways or for the Bangkok Metropolis. Okay. This figure shows, different types of pavement marking. One may have like, a little bit strip and angle. This one has a, pattern like what we seen. In America, I have seen this many. Okay, this type. From what you're seeing here, what do you think about this intersection? Can one give me some idea? What do you think about the design? I know this is not in Thailand for sure, but that is shown here. Hello คำถามจากภาพนี้พวกเราเห็นอะไรบ้างที่เกี่ยวข้องกับการออกแบบ อันนี้ไม่ใช่ทางแยกในประเทศไทยแน่นอน
เห็นที่เป็นตัวที่คนเดินมาตรงกลางครับ แล้วคนหยุดรอไฟข้าม
โอเค อันนี้ก็คือไอแลนด์
สักอย่างครับ
ไอแลนด์ครับ แล้วมีอะไรอีกครับตรงนี้ ถามก่อนดีไซน์แบบนี้ดีไหม
น่าจะดีนะครับ
โอเค ท่านอื่นล่ะครับ มีความเห็นไหม ของข้างทางเป็นยังไงบ้างครับ
คนเยอะครับ
มีมอเตอร์ไซค์ใช้ไหม
หมายถึงยังไงนะครับ
ในภาพนี้มีการใช้มอเตอร์ไซค์เยอะไหมครับ
ประมาณหนึ่งครับ ไม่
ป
มาก
ระมาณหนึ่งครับ ไม่เยอะครับ
อือหือ
แต่ว่ามีรถจอดบนทางเท้าด้วยไหมครับอาจารย์4 คัน
มีรถจอดบนทางเท้าด้วย4 คัน
เหมือนจะเป็นเท้า
เหมือนจะมี violation อยู่เนาะ มีการจอดรถบนทางเท้าซึ่งอยู่ตรงนี้เนาะ
ครับ
โอเค ตาดีมาก มีตรงไหนอีกครับ activities ใช่ พวกคุณได้เห็นแล้วว่า มันมีการมีเขาเรียกว่าอะไรนะ ตึกร้านบ้านช่อง มีการจอดรถนะฮะดีไซน์ตรงนี้เนี่ย จริงๆแล้วไม่ควรจะมีรถมาจอดแน่นอน แต่ถ้าเรามองถึงไม่ใช่เรื่องคนเนาะ มองเฉพาะเรื่องการออกแบบ ไม่เลวเลย เขาใช้หลักทางวิศวกรรมครบหมดเลย ไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องของ channelization นะครับ มี auxiliary lane นะอย่างนี้นะรถเลี้ยวปุ๊บเข้าไปนะครับ ให้ดีตรงนี้ต้อง merge ไปได้เลยนะครับ โดยที่รถฝั่งนี้เนี่ย อันนี้คือกี่เลนครับ3 เลนเนาะ 1 2 3เลนนี้คือเลี้ยวซ้ายใช่ไหมครับนี่คือเลนเลี้ยวซ้ายอันนี้คือเลนตรง อันนี้คือเลนตรงตรงมีรับ3เลนนะครับตรงนี้2เลนทำไมมารับ3เลนเพราะว่าอย่าลืมว่าเรามีเลี้ยวซ้ายตรงนี้นะฮะอีกทางหนึ่งเลี้ยวไป2นะตรง2แต่รับ3ไม่เป็นไรถือว่าดีนะ pedestrian นะครับเขาพยายามแยกการเดินโดยซ้ำนะครับให้มีเส้นบอกบน pedestrian บนisland นี้ถือว่าใหญ่มากนะถ้ามองดูแล้วก็จะมี pedestrian signals ให้แยกต่างหากนะครับ This is the traffic light เนี่ยถ้าสังเกตจะเห็นว่าดีไซน์แบบมินิมอลมากๆมีเสาอยู่กี่ต้น1 2 3 4มีเสาอยู่4ต้นข้อดีของจำนวนเสาน้อยนี้ก็คือเป็นไงครับไม่ใช่ว่าประหยัดนะ
เวลาดูจะได้ไม่งงครับ
ใช่จะได้ไม่งงแต่หัวโคมจะต้องมีอย่างชัดเจนครับหัวโคมตรงนี้ชัดเจนความส่องสว่างในพื้นที่นะไฟแสงสว่างสำคัญนะครับพอ pedestrian เนี่ยจะเห็นว่าไฟถ้าดูใกล้ๆไฟตรงจุดนี้กับไฟตรง mid block ไม่เหมือนกันการส่องสว่างเข้าไปนี่ส่องเข้าไปใน intersection เพื่อให้เห็นชัดๆนะครับ stop line นี่คือ stop line เมื่อกี้ที่ผมบอกว่า crosswalk ควรจะอยู่หลัง stop line นะครับเพื่อที่จะให้คนได้ข้ามไม่มี conflict บางแห่งถ้าเราไม่มีการตีเส้นตรงนี้นะครับผมว่าท่านอาจจะเจอคนข้ามถนนอย่างนี้ก็ได้นะไม่ใช่คนขายพวงมาลัยหรือขายโดนัทนะครับคนข้ามถนนนะครับอาจจะข้ามก็ง่ายกว่าแต่ข้ามมาอยู่ตรงนี้นี่อันตรายมากเพราะรถพวกนี้เขาจะไม่ได้สังเกตคนไม่ใช่ที่ที่ควรจะข้ามจำนวนเสาที่น้อยๆอีกอันก็คือถ้าเกิดมีการชนเกิดขึ้นความเสี่ยงของการชน fixed object นะพวกนี้คือ fixed object ทั้งหมดมันก็จะลดลงด้วยนะ fixed objectทางเท้าให้ค่อนข้างกว้างนะครับแต่อันนี้ขึ้นอยู่กับคนใช้ละไม่น่าจะเขาเรียกว่ารักษาวินัยเท่าไหร่ที่ทางแยกจะไม่มีการมาเชื่อมตรงนะครับจะไม่มีการเอาทางเชื่อมมาเชื่อมตรงเพราะว่าเชื่อมตรงแล้วเกิดปัญหาแน่นอนสมมุติถ้ามีการทางเชื่อมออกตรงนี้นะครับมีทางเชื่อมออกจะเกิดผลยังไงแน่นอนมาคอนฟ lict นะฮะอาจจะตัดกระแสรถเลี้ยวซ้ายออกมาอันนี้ยังไม่ค่อยมากเท่ากับตัดอย่างนี้ออกไปนะครับถ้าตัดอย่างนี้ออกไปนี่แย่เลยเพราะฉะนั้นเขาต้องไปให้มันอยู่ไกลๆนะครับ access อย่างเช่น here on this left corner จะเข้าตรงนี้ก็คุณต้องมาตรงนี้เข้าออกตรงนี้ไกลหน่อยจะไม่ได้มาอยู่ใกล้ๆเนี่ยอันนี้ก็สำคัญโอเคในนี้ยังไม่เห็นจุดที่เป็นบัสสต็อปนะครับโอเค next Why it's not coming? Share screen. Okay, solve it. Okay. Now this is the another slide from the Federal Highway Administration or FHWA. I believe that from my opinion, information, articles, studies, all kind of innovation provided very well when you look at countries like United States. They build up for a long time for, you know, knowledge, and you know, they have a lot of journals. In those journals, you can find lots of information about things that been, you know, working on, like safety. So in terms of safety, we have many types of safeties. One is at intersection that that I'm going to take. Some may find the safety like work zone safety. One may find the safety in the in mid block. One may find the safety for motorcycles or bicycles. But they are really pinpoint at one or two things. Sorry, three. First is human. Okay. Second is vehicle. And the third is roadway and environment. Okay, three broad items, three broad components. Okay, again, human components, vehicles components, and road and environmental and environment components. Humans, the most major blamed. Okay, what they blame for? Speeding, reckless driving, have some eyesight, have some health behavior, some things like drunk and drive, those kind of things. So, and one may not, do not obey the laws. Drunk and drive is also do not obey the laws. Well, so at signal at intersections, once you put the signal in it, you really want to create environment for safety at the intersection, you know. But somehow, you know, there may be some variation anyway at the intersection, but the key is that how you minimize those and how do you minimize possibility of an accident or crashes. That this slide will show up that. Okay, decisions, pedestrians, speeding, roadway departure. This one, you may say, oh, there's no environment, there's no vehicles. Of course, we are focused on the particular on the road and the human. There are some numbers from, this slide is a little bit old in 2007. Right now it's 2021, right? But compared to our accident in Thailand, this number about 41,000 fatalities. Okay, 41,000 fatalities in 1 year. But compared to how many million people in the United States, and compared to fatalities in Thailand, okay, if you look at the comparison, you will find that there are a lot more fatalities rate in Thailand. Okay, but they pinpoint that half of all crashes and half of injuries occurred at intersections. Okay, so the total is 21%, 1/5 of the total at the intersection. Among 8,657 intersection fatalities, okay, it's happened mostly in urban areas. If you know how we classify, the state systems, we will be able to identify, okay, the state system, road hierarchy. Okay. Start from freeway, arterial, collector, and local. Okay. This graphic shows not on freeway. It's showing from arterial, collector, and local. And the unknown is unspecific. Okay. 3 classifications. Mostly happen on the arterials. Okay. 5,232. The rest happen on the collector and local. Anyway, but mostly, 60% in urban area. What they told us here is there are 3 million intersections in the US alone, and only 300,000 of them are signalized. Among the signals, unsignals, and uncontrolled, okay, you find that at unsignalized happened more than signalized. Of course, this figure said there are 3 million, right, intersections, and only 300, just 300 of them are signalized. However, as I earlier mentioned, when you want to make it safer, this one may put the signals to to be a mitigation for intersection that is unsignaled or uncontrolled. The figure shows that there's some accidents, but half of them is less than unsignaled. If you can get into the report, NCHRP report number 500, volume number 12, give you more ideas of how you treat the intersections with, method with the means, different means. It said a guide for reducing collisions at signal intersection. And the later of this slide will discuss about those strategies. So type crashes at signals include right angle. Yeah, somebody already mentioned that. Rear end, ชนที่มุม ชนท้าย left turn. I'm sorry, right angle นี่คือชนแบบ90 องศา right angle นี่ชนที่90 องศา left turn นี่คือเลี้ยวไปแล้วก็ชนกัน side swipe อันนี้เบียดกัน ที่เหลือก็ pedestrian and bicycle collision. CRF is crash reduction factors. Okay, there are some studies, giving you the idea of if you put this kind of measures, this kind of countermeasures, it's giving you the idea how much the reductions of a fatal crash will be. Okay, some may be a lot, some may be less. Okay, but somehow if you compare the cost, it's giving you a good choice to do it. Okay, for the angle crashes, it says 42%, okay, of fatal crashes at intersection account for this type of crashes. Okay. The potential countermeasures include optimized chain intervals. Okay, optimized chain intervals. That means the intersection should have a system that can control the signal from traffic volume. Okay. Secondly, improve sight distance. This is easiest one. Make sure that everyone can see well. Okay. Restricted access. Like I mentioned from the graphic earlier, that they shouldn't have an access that very close to the signal. Okay. Provide targeted enforcement. If you learn that this intersection have a lot of violation of red light, then red light camera may be in place. Okay. Restrict parking. One may, put some sign that to prevent producer to park nearby the intersection. So it's going to reduce the chance of blocking the view. Or construct roundabouts. Okay. Optimize chain intervals. It said sometimes if the thing is too long, the red timing is too long, or the green timing is too short, or it's not very balanced with the number of vehicles on each lane, then there are more probability of violators at the intersection. Red light violator. So just change the number of green timing, change the facing could help lower the number of crashes. Okay, and it's also help pedestrian and bicycles much more in this type. Okay. Improving sight distance, is also a good way. This one is restricted access. Okay, you can see this is an equipment to protect vehicles that get out of this driveway. We call access or driveway, doesn't matter, it depends. So get in out of this driveway. Of course, one can make this turn. Get in can go this way, but get out, no left turn. Without this, there may be somebody, do not look at the sign for no left turn. They just cross the road and then come here. Okay. So is a good way to prevent that. Okay. It said driveways should not be located within functional area of intersection. Where are the functional area? The functional areas are the black areas here. Provide targeted enforcement. This is red light camera. I don't know whether one of you have ever get a ticket from red light running at one of the BMA intersection. BMA stands for Bangkok Metropolitan Administration หรือภาษาไทยเรียกว่ากรุงเทพมหานครมีอยู่ประมาณ30ทางแยกที่มีสัญญาณไฟที่มีเรดไลท์นะครับผมยังเคยโดนนะครับโดนยิงกล้องนะครับไปได้the CRF showing that it's gonna help for the motorists do not violate this kind of signals, especially left turn. Left turn. The signals timing at for the United States is quite different from signal timing in Thailand. Some locations you can make a left turn without the green arrow for left turn. So it's kind of permitted left turn. You yield for the opposite or oncoming vehicle. If they passed you already and there's a gap, you can make a left turn. This is legal to do it. But if there is a dedicated signal for left turn, then that motorist that is waiting for making a left turn should stop and wait until the left turn green is on. So this particular countermeasure wanted to reduce illegal left turn, okay, and the reduction is good. Actually, it's helped for collision at the intersection for the right angle and the right angle types of collision. No parking nearby intersection. Okay, restricted parking. Some locations allow you to park at certain period of time, like off-peak, maybe from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can park, but you have to pay. But after that, there's no parking allowed. There will be risk patrol, to look at violators, and the measure for them to do it is not just ticketing. They do the towing Okay, they ask for a towing truck to tow that violators to an area, or what we call the towing compound. You will, if you are the owner of the car, and then you found that your car has been towed or is disappeared from the street, you can call the numbers nearby. Mostly, they will put the number right behind the no parking signs. Okay, then you call them, and then they will give you the identification whether you're the owner, and you will need to pay for the heavy fine. Pay for the not only for the ticket to the police, but for the towing services. Yeah. The cost of both will let you, not doing it anymore. Okay. I had experience once I accidentally parked at a handicap slot. I see no sign at all, no sign on the pavement, but the sign is just placed just across of the pedestrian footpath. Okay. Then when I came back, I found that my car I thought it was stolen, but I just recognized that, oh, there's a sign for the handicap park. They call the towing truck numbers. They said yes, my car was towed to the. Please go to the police department and then pay the fine and get a ticket of the receipt, and then come to the towing compound to get your car. Oh man! After that, I never wanted to get this kind of violation anymore. Going through the system is very hectic. Why? Because you need to talk to the police, you need to talk to the judge, because they have a judge for the traffic court. You can ask for, you can explain the judge that why you park the car over there, what is your reason, and what happened. They will look through all your history, all your records. If you find that you are, if you have no record, then the judge may reduce the fine for you. Maybe this is the first time you give the warning, but the towing service is not reduced. You just pay the toll. Okay. This kind of thing gives you the idea of how to prevent some kinds of violations. Okay. For us, if you get a speeding ticket, what you gonna do right now? None. You didn't pay for the fine, right? But you still be able to get the renewal of the vehicle registration that you have to pay annually, right? But in the future, very soon, you may have a system that's called the reduction of the score. So if you get that kind of a system, then you may lose some privilege. Yeah, like driving privilege. I think a great idea. So everybody will keep, safety in mind by no violence. This is kind of a aspect that I want to tell you, that when we talk about human factors, human as a factor. Yes, of course, this enormous is very vary, and depends on each person behavior, but we want to emphasize the awareness when we used, you know, our cars on the street. We don't want to harm anybody. We want to wear our helmet, keep your cell phone in place, use hand-free, keep your eyes on the road, no texting, no chatting, no whatever. Put your mask on. Anyway, okay, what time is it now? Okay, 1:30. Let me finish this slide and we will have a break. Okay. So roundabout, well, if you look at intersections around here, it has been converted to a roundabout. One of the reasons here you can see that it's not, is how many legs here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 legs intersection. Yes, it's good to put traffic, to put roundabout in this area, because it is not at the right angle, and there are many lakes. Okay. Visualization from this angle, you see that I think if they learn how to use roundabout very well, it shows that roundabout has a lot of advantages. First is you don't need to put the signals. Signal can be malfunction. Okay, this one is gonna be there for a long time, and less conflict, right? Less conflict. What else? Low maintenance. That's why it's giving you a lot of CIF here for the fatal. Putting there is less likely to have collision in the intersection. Rear-end crashes. It said account for 8% of fatal crashes at this signalized intersection. The potential countermeasures include increased visibility of intersection, increased awareness, improve signal coordination, install turn lanes, control approach speed, and optimize in intervals. Okay. This one also showing that they install some more signals. Okay, but this is different from the pole here. This is a mass arm. From the figure earlier, when we talked about the minimal design of the pole. Yeah, okay. This one, they increase more signal heads, into the system. In this type, it's okay because it's not the mass arm together. If there are two mass arm here, it's gonna be blocking the view. Okay, this is an addition, and it's just a typical pole. Okay, so it's okay for this, but emphasize that 12-inch signals indicators should be used. In the past, they use a halogen lamp, so it's just one bulb. If the bulb is gone, it's gone. The technology now has changed to LED, so it's prolonged a lot of time before the LED will, will fade away, and it's good to be able to see from far away. So now the signal head is very, very, very good. Yeah, instead of putting new pole, they put, you know, on each direction, on each lane. This is something that I really like, and I want to, in the at the Department of Highways, I want to implement this too. Okay, but this kind of mess, you know, as you see the design, it's very long arm. Okay, here in Thailand is cost the cost of having this mechanism is very expensive. So we have to find the alternative to put the signal heads in place like this. This is good for a big intersection, but in America, everything very big. So anyway, because according to, if you have a, if it's unavoidable that there's an intersection at the at a curve or limited size distance, one should put something like this to let the drivers prepare, you know, to stop. This one is cool because it's only flashed when the LED signal turn. Okay, if it's green, this signal will not flash. You see, it's a yellow here. It's flashing left and right like this, switching. So if the signal is red here, you will need to, you know, prepare to stop. This one also good too. You see, is they put a sign showing very far ahead that there is a signal, you know, ahead of you. Okay, this is chevron sign. This is the sign showing that there is a signal over here. Signal coordination, yeah. So it's good too in urban area if you have many signals installed on, you know, along the street. You don't want to have lots of delay at intersection. You want to let the traffic flow at the same time. Okay, and it's good for pedestrian too to have a good gap to cross the street. Okay, turn lane, auxiliary lane, left turn, right turn. This is what I talked about. This is dedicated left turn lane and the dedicated left turn signal. Okay, left turn signal. Okay. If you notice on the top photo here, you will find that, ooh, what is this? They have like a zigzag type of the pavement marking. The reason behind this is to warn motorists that you have to slow down. The reduction of the speed or the speed zone is ahead of you. This is, I think this is on the arterial. So they put the signal over here, and the signal is on the crest of the vertical curve. So to avoid any you know unaware of the through traffic. Sometimes when you drive for a long time and you drive without stopping at all, and you find it that in front of you there's an intersection. Engineer may put the signals, but they have to have a good warning that there's a signal in front of you. So when you put the sign like this and the zigzag curve like this, okay. The photos below is the red light camera. Left turn lane 21, account for 21% fatal crashes. So the countermeasure are those. Okay, yeah, the left turn signal. You may see over here. This something over here on the arrow. If you follow me, this arrow. Okay, this is the sensor. Okay, this is a sensor for detecting, left turn vehicles. If there is no vehicle, this arrow will not show. Okay, but if there is a vehicle trying to wait for the queue, wait for the left, but for the signal hit the left turn, this sensor will, automatically turn the arrow left turn, green one here, on, so that they can make a left turn safely. Right turn restrictions. Such design, okay, in typical intersections, one would understand that there's the if they said right turn on red allow or U to pedestrian, that means you don't have to stop, okay, for making the right turn. It's just U. However, something like this, they don't want you to cross the street at all. They have you to have a signal and then have a sign showing that do not turn on red, because if you turn, you may get into a fatal crash with the train that oncoming. Okay. Some, maybe on the phone, they don't really look at the sign very well. This situation, create some problems in urban areas. They may not, be able to brake, the train, so it hit cars and got very severe injury or fatalities. Left turn design. Okay, this one they just put the what we talked about earlier is a curve or the dedicated left turn lane. Okay, auxiliary lane. It has a curve in here, so it's separated out of the true movement on the opposite direction as well. So this signal is for left turn. That's for the left turn. Okay. This one has no. It has an auxiliary lane, but has no curve. Okay. This slide said about the reconstruction approach. Oops. Right here, this is the new intersection. The previous one is here. Okay, this is the old intersection. Remember when I talked about Namnasatik, okay? Like this, it's not good because one may not know which one is the main road. Earlier, maybe this is the old road, okay, it's a good road, and the newer road come, and then there are accidents here. The new approach is to build intersection, make it, as a right angle as much possible, so that everybody can see each other well. Okay. On your right hand side, this is another type of design. Okay. um, well, to get into this parking lot, maybe you have got to get into here, get into here. This one, do not make a left turn. You see? Follow me, okay? This is right hand side driving. To make a left turn movement, you have got to go to the right. Wait here at the intersection. Wait for the signal, get green, and then cross. Size wide 13%. The potential countermeasure, install pavement markings, provide protected left turn placing. Pavement markings such as this, okay. Without delineator or the alignment, one can turn very hard, okay, if it's a big intersection. Putting the guideline like this is giving a lot more visualization when you are. Pedestrian bicycle crashes, urban area, a lot of them, 25%. So what you should do is you need to improve the signal hardware, improve the facilities, provide information or education for pedestrians. Do not cross. Wait until you get the green light. Okay. Yeah. This sign below is good because if there's problem with the signal, you can call the operator reporting the problem. Call this number and giving you, and when you call, you tell the officers that okay, the signal T303 is malfunction, or it's not working. Then the operator will come. This way is better than without, this time, because it's hard to say, okay, is the signal across J something where Taekwondo maybe. Yeah, it's like a gym. Okay, pedestrian ramp. This is important for handicapped. Okay, and elders too, because we are getting into the what is called สังคมสูงอายุเนาะ elderly. So it's not impacting just only the elders, but also those who are in our age. Okay. We need to take care of them, and that has a lot of impact too. Like this, if there is a handicap, one may need to increase the signal timing for them to be able to cross the road safely. For most pedestrians, you may walk at a normal street, okay, walking speed. But for them, okay, you see this road is like a, there's some vertical curve over here. You have to use a lot of power to get into the middle of the center of the road, okay, if you were the handicap, and then you can go faster over there. This is not good design. Actually, it's too much, need of the power or energy to go across the street. But it's good design for water runoff if it is kind of rain, a lot of rain over here. Anyway, bicycle lane. Now, well, hard to say because our populations mostly they drive motorcycles rather than bicycles. But the bicycles also present on the roadway. So to initiate more people to bike, okay, as an engineer or someone who take care of the city planner, then you got to think of where they should put the pedestrian put the bicycle facilities for those who want to explore the city with just bicycle. It's a safe mode to use, but it's not safe in some location if there is no bicycle facilities. Okay. All right. Education information can be found on many websites nowadays, and there are many methods to get into this kind of programs. I really want to have our younger children to learn about traffic law, about how to use motorcycles, how to use vehicles at very young age, so that when they become adults or those who be able to get the license to use the road, then they will not violate the laws. Further information can be found on this website, so I give you the link, and then you can get more information about this later. At this point, I'm gonna stop and give you a break, and then we come back at 8 p.m. Okay, this is in about 12 minutes. I'll see you soon. Okay. Break. Okay. Okay. So let's go to unsignalized intersection. This one is oops, unsignalized, right? Okay. Okay. What you've seen is another aspect at the signal, which is unsignalized. Okay. Previously, we talked about safety at signalized intersections. This one is unsignalized. The same basic background. Okay, I will go a little faster on this one. They have some statistics here. Remember, at unsignalized is account for more numbers of fatals. So we got to, get something done for create safety. If you want to see some measure, countermeasure, then the NCSRP report 500, volume 5, stated about how to avoid, how to make these unsignalized intersections safer. Okay. Type of crashes, as you see here, right angle, rear end, left turn, side swipe, pedestrian, and bicycle. Similar setup. Okay, CRF, collision factor, stated here. So angle clashes account for more than 50%. Okay, so that means this type of crash should be really taken care of by first improve turn lane design, improve clear side distance triangles, apply access management course. Do not make a left turn. Construct something like roundabout. Okay. Improve awareness, showing more signs and the delineator on the road. Okay. Angle crashes. Okay. Previously, this is the new alignment here. Okay. This is it shows here is like a previous driveway earlier, this angle connection, okay, to the main road. So this one, as we learned earlier, make it angle as much possible, okay? So everyone can see if you are here. This one is a little tricky because it's gonna be almost like intersection here, okay? They put the new alignment over here, but for me, in my opinion, is not really good to have the alignment over here, because at this it's gonna become something like if you want to cross the road, okay, you want to cross the road. But anyway, it's not a good picture in my opinion. But it's the purpose of this is reduce or eliminate skew. Enforcement, acceleration lane is pocket acceleration lane. Rear end crashes 6%. So have the left turn pocket shoulder for bypass lane. Okay. If you cannot make a pocket like this, a true vehicle can go bypass like this. A left turn can be over here. Make a left turn. Supplemental over assigning. This is a crossroad, but there's no equipment to block. It's just unsignaled crossroad, so they have to have a good warning. Construction roundabout, provide left turn acceleration lane, provide lighting, post appropriate speed limit. If there's not, remember, if there's not enough braking distance, then you should lower the speed limit. Okay. Yeah, speed ahead, stop ahead, whatever. Left turn crashes, be similar to signals, so they have to have like this. It's a pocket so that they can make a left turn. Maybe also putting the time that do not turn. Some of the period of time you can make a turn, but on rush hour, do not turn. Okay. Pavement marking, size swipe. Okay. So size swipe is like this. Okay. So this sign is to help drivers to stay on their lanes properly. Without it, or maybe there's only one that on the street. I mean, the marking maybe it's not seen easily. So this will give you a better view which lane they should stay. Okay. The sign like this means route 113 go take this lane only. Route 376 stay on the right. Okay. If you want to get into the state route number 77, I think this is like a toll road, should be on the left. This is traffic calming. Okay, traffic calming. Traffic calming. Okay, the homework for you. Okay, let you find out what is traffic calming. Okay, what is traffic calming? Do not just give me just definition, but you give me some examples. Okay, what they are and what they use for. There are many types of traffic calming methods. So you got to find some examples. There are many of them. Okay. So that is your assignment, the second assignment. Send me your answers via email next week. Okay. Also, for more information, you can get this at the same location here. Okay. Okay. I want to share another one here. I just recently sent this file to you. It's written in Thai. I hope all of you can make it understand anyway. But if you cannot, can you ask for help for those who are foreigners? Maybe some help from your friend. But I will go into some of the slides, not all. Okay, some of the slides, not all. This is the design, especially for urban area. Okay. Why focus on this? As I mentioned earlier, we lack of focus of the urban design intersection for a long time. It's not just intersection, it's overall. Okay. And in the urban areas, there are many modes of approach, many modes of users. And it's mixed used, a lot of things like sewage, like the utility pipes, everything is in the city. Okay. So there are many things that involved. So what you've got to do is to make sure that design is accommodate all of those. Past and current. Okay. In the past, this is maybe not in Thailand, but this is like, you know, all kind of activities were on the street, you know. It's never been separated. Okay. And here, the new urban design, they want to make the modelist to have like a permit of the right of way. Previously, all the lanes are provided for motorists, not for bicyclists, not for pedestrians. But the new idea, they want to lower the speed of the motor vehicles and provide more choices for, you know, earth safe mode like bicycle. So this is the idea, okay, for the design, for the aspect for the sustainable development in urban. Okay, this is conventional approach. Okay, this is new approach. Traffic calm. Yes, here you see traffic calm. Traffic calming. The major point of the design of the road, okay, in cities, these are the areas of focus เพื่อความปลอดภัยเพื่อการเคลื่อนตัวและเข้าถึงเพื่อบริบทโดยรอบเพื่อการอยู่ร่วมกันเพื่อความยั่งยืนเพื่อความสวยงามเพื่อความคุ้มค่า Okay, safety for all kinds of mode. Okay. In each slide, they will have the explanation of those aspects. Okay, you can read through it because it's not hard to understand. Okay, I'll focus on something like, yeah. Okay. เพื่อการอยู่ร่วมกัน this is for example we talked about land use. Okay, land uses. Road is part of the land uses. Without road, you cannot mobile things. May not mobile goods, may not mobile or all kind of activities. But you know, all sorts of work, all sorts of things that on the road. The road is for public. Okay, it's a public app, so it should be used for many types of activities too, like for not only just for mobilization, maybe emphasize for activities like exercise, relaxation. You know, if you go to many developed countries, you find that streets are not very big, but they open for, you know, maybe coffee shops open for, you know, pedestrians who want to sit down and get a break, reading newspapers. But nowadays, maybe not newspaper anymore. They're reading iPad, iPhone, whatever. Something like this should be aesthetics. มีความสวยงามเข้ามาเกี่ยวข้อง good environment, good materials that can be also in place there. Clean. Okay. So types of road. This is for in America. Previously, I mentioned earlier. Arterial, collector, local. Ahead of this, more than this, this is another one, freeway, okay, or interstate. Okay, freeway or interstate. But accessibility is gonna be, you know, mostly on local and collectors. Mobilities will be mostly on arterials and freeway. Okay, freeway คือลำดับสูงสุดนะหรือ interstate ลำดับสูงสุดใช้ความเร็วได้ปลอดภัยนะมี activity ข้างทางน้อย arterial ตัวรับตัวส่งเข้าสู่ระบบ freeway ของถนนซึ่งก็เป็น main road จาก main road จะเข้าถึงพื้นที่ได้เรื่อยๆก็คือไปสู่ตัว collector นะ collector นี่ก็คือเป็นทางรองจากทางรองก็เข้าสู่ชุมชนเข้าสู่หมู่บ้านเข้าสู่อะไรก็คือ local. On your right hand side, this is example of the types of roads, okay, as said earlier. This is compare, okay, to the classification. Functional street classification, and this is on this side is the well, that's what how to call it. Okay, urban, suburban, transit, industrial, freeway, the side of the street, boulevard, avenue, street. Okay. So type of street, general street, slow street, transit street. Transit street is normally wheelchair buses or trams, those kind of things. Boulevard is giving you the idea that you can be the arterial. Different classifications among other different cities that depends on how they call. Okay. This is road hierarchy. in India. They compare to the size of railway compared to the speed range. You can see primary arterial have a higher speed, but when you compare to the local or collectors, you see the speed is lower, okay, a lot slower. And you can see that which one is designed for transit. Okay. This is kind of warrants, okay, warrants ความเร็วในการออกแบบความกว้างประเภทรถทางแยกการเข้าถึงแล้วก็การจัดการเกี่ยวกับระบบการระบายน้ำและต้นไม้ okay. Different area they compare it, they have a comparison, okay. But speed is one of the kind, okay. If you see other type of cities, speed is in there everywhere. In the center, city center neighborhood, yeah, you don't want to drive very fast, because if you drive at 30 km/h, if you accidentally hit someone, 1 in 10 will die. But if you go double the speed at 30 to 60, yeah, the result said 9 of them, 9 out of 10 or 90% will die. Okay, this is the description of comparison of the speed. Okay. Different design aspects induce behavior. You know, something on your left here, you know, is trying to have ability to drive faster. So this is in residential area. You don't want to induce people to drive very fast in residential area. So you have to have some mitigation, okay, to let them go below this as low as possible. Instead, on the right here is better integration for parking, for movement, for facilities. This one, you know, is business friendly because there's a parking spot. If you have a business here, then you can park here and then cross the street to visit. And beautiful too. This one never. You know, you park it, you cannot park. It's gonna be blocking. You know. This is like a kind of the idea, okay, how to use the right of way, okay, of a street. Okay, this one the design in Octavia Boulevard in San Francisco. So they're not just for motor vehicles only, but they use like to share for local access. Okay, bigger sidewalk, okay, 12-foot sidewalk, 12-foot sidewalk. They share this one share for bicycles and parking, and these are the main road. Travel lane is reduced from 12 foot to be 12 feet to be 11 feet. This one also introduced for, this is Abu Dhabi maybe. This is bus stop street. This is area that they can allow pedestrians to walk safely. Depends on right way you have. ใหญ่ขนาดกลางขนาดเล็ก depends on yeah driveway full sidewalk ขนาดใหญ่ open sidewalk so sometimes you don't want to open like this oh okay you have some green space for aesthetics curve extension this is curve extension okay it's good for handicaps and elderly and also protection for park vehicles sorry. Some places they put some vegetables here green space graphic is not clear I'm sorry I didn't get a good presentation for this is area where the curve extension is for for bus riders can wait in the shade and sitting to wait for a bus to come mid-block narrowing to reduce the speed in the city then they can do like this too okay. Introduce some green stuff here some places they put some have a concrete that can let the water penetrate very fast so it's good forไม่ทำให้น้ำท่วม okay just a idea this is part of the traffic calming too so I hope that you can get more of the traffic calming all right okay so I hope I will pause right this time